Dubai is a place that's constantly trying to invent the future. The latest addition is Meydan City, the massive project that might never see completion. Meydan City is essentially a giant luxury city condensed into a manageable size. The entire thing stretches out only 40 million square feet. In comparison, the city of New York is 8.4 billion square feet. Think of Meydan as a city concentrated into its best, most tourist-friendly bits. It is a city made up of luxury living spaces, amazing shopping, quality entertainment options, and so much more. It was announced to be completed in 2020, ready for tourists and residents alike. So if this city is so amazing, why has pretty much no one ever heard of it? That's because, despite a huge level of interest when it began development, it has proved to be less of a dream project and more of a nightmare. A nightmare that has cost $30 billion. The entire thing was announced on the eve of the 2007 Dubai World Cup. No, not the football kind of World Cup, the horse racing one. It was an exciting project that was split into several districts, such as the largest mall in the world, the greatest racetrack in the world, the greatest residential tower in the world, and you get the picture. They really don't do anything in Dubai unless it's going to be the best thing ever built. It's kind of their gift and their curse. The city was intended for 80,000 people to live there. Today, it's less filled with residents and tourists going about their day shopping, and more like a bunch of developments with stalled construction equipment and empty spaces. What exactly happened? Well, the same thing that happened to the rest of the world. The COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. It destroyed the entire project's momentum, and it has truly never picked back up. The area of Meydan City that the whole thing is designed around is the Meydan Racecourse. It is the top of the line with a grandstand that's over a mile in length, and it can hold over 60,000 spectators. It also holds the record for the longest television screen ever built. Evidently, this masterwork of a raceway cost over $1 billion to complete. The design of this place is so futuristic that it was actually used as a background reference for a movie set in the far future, Star Trek Beyond. The place is such an integral part of the Meydan City project that they were planning to build an expensive tram that would regularly take people from the city to the raceway. While the city, the tram, and pretty much everything else about the project is on hold, the raceway is still bringing in millions of people each and every year. Perhaps the biggest feature of the entire Meydan City project is the Meydan Mall, otherwise known as Meydan One. While it started out as the greatest draw to the project, it may have ended up being the silver bullet that took it down. The place would feature all of the biggest name brands of shops in the world, a big entertainment venue, an imax, and probably so much more that they didn't even announce. It would be the center of commerce and was expected to be the largest mall of all time. It was to have 550 retail outlets ranging from the brands you'd see in everyday malls to some of the finest luxury brands there are. Then we've got the 180 eateries, ranging from fast food to five-star dining. It would also feature much-needed services for people who live close by. The mall will feature a 13,200 square meter hypermarket, which will be able to handle anyone's grocery needs. To put that in perspective, the standard Walmart supercenter typically has around 16,500 square meters, so this is no tiny little grocery stop. It also includes a fully staffed medical center. We don't know exactly how much this addition to the project would cost by itself, but we do have some comparable info that gives us a pretty good guess. Currently, the finest mall in the entire world is the Dubai Mall. Building the Mall of the Emirates took a whopping $20 billion. So building this mall would likely be in the $25 billion to maybe even $30 billion range. And it hasn't even been built yet. This ambition was exactly the problem, as the massive expense proved quite the hurdle as 2020 put the entire project in jeopardy. The literal biggest structure to be conceived in the Meydan project is what is known as the Dubai One Tower. When completed, it would be the fourth tallest building in the entire world. The building would stand at 2,333 feet, setting the world record for residential buildings. It would feature 885 residential apartments. Not only that, but it would have also featured a 5-star hotel with 350 rooms. There's a similar tower in development known as the Dubai Creek Tower, which might end up becoming the largest tower in the world. It's been reported to cost over $1 billion, so that would be my guess for roughly about as much as Meydan One would cost to build. If you want to book a place here, you may have a problem, since it is the most unlikely of the projects to reach its proposed specifications. Dubai is well known for taking inspiration from the most beautiful places in the rest of the world. Just look at the incomplete World Islands project. Perhaps one of the coolest things that Meydan threw around was its canal system. Like the canals in Venice, Italy, or through the French Riviera, these would offer peaceful, beautiful methods of travel from Meydan City to the coast and other areas. In a place that would probably be constantly loud and disruptive 24/7, having the option to take a peaceful boat trip would be ideal. What a brilliant idea that will likely never be completed. If you haven't had enough fun journeying through the imaginary future city quite yet, let me add to it. This place was also going to have its own giant water park. That's right, water rides, lazy rivers, slides, those little games where you shoot water guns at passers-by. While this wouldn't be the main attraction for most tourists, for literally every little kid who visits the city, this will be the place to go. Dubai already has a great history in the water park world. Look no further than Dubai Atlanta's Aquaventure Park. Typically, building water parks is no cheap project. Putting one of these things together, complete with all the rides, slides, attractions, and 900,000 gallons it takes just to start one, can run upwards of $40 million. For this project, I'd bet they would go to 50 mil easy. One of the coolest features the city would have was its giant ski slope. Yes, you heard that right. In a city like Dubai, it's almost surreal to see a giant skiing range there. This isn't actually just some tiny little strip mall attraction either. It's a 1.2 kilometer long downhill run. Dubai already has the biggest, longest indoor ski slope in the world, so it's likely that this slope would have featured ways to compete with even that. This attraction looks fun, but the price for these types of artificial ski slopes really add up. They can cost as much as $400 million. I mean, I get how cool it is to have a snowy ski slope in the desert, but 400 mil seems a bit steep, no pun intended. Dubai currently holds the record for the tallest fountain in the entire world. The Palm Fountain has jets that shoot out over 105 meters. As impressive as that is, the proposed Meydan Fountain wanted to trounce those numbers. The plan was to build a fountain that could shoot 380 meters. Give it to Dubai to have a fist fight over fountains with itself. Would you expect any less? How much would you say a fountain is worth to build? Maybe $2 million there if you want a really, really nice fountain, right? Wrong. The Palm Fountain ran up a tab of $18 million to build, so the Meydan equivalent would be around that number as well, if not far exceeding it. So is there any hope for this city of the future to actually live up to its lofty dreams? The answer to that question is a firm maybe. That's because there's actually a plan to restructure the debt and move the project forward. Only it's a lot of debt we're talking about here. They show that the project was in a staggering $4 billion worth of debt. The city may be several billion in the hole, but I still have hope that one day I'll be hitting the slopes and then go for a go-kart right after.